Hi, it's Sylvester. So, in case you don't know, I suffered with psychotic delusions from the end of 2019 all the way up until earlier this year. So, for several years, I was very psychotic. I had these crazy delusions. I was hallucinating. I thought that I was telepathic. I thought I could read minds. I thought that I was telepathically talking to celebrities and famous YouTubers and the people around me. And I had all sorts of crazy delusions. I believed all sorts of things. It was very convoluted, and the things I believed kept changing. But basically, all you needed to know is that I was psychotic, and I've been given many diagnoses. None of them are schizophrenia. I really thought that I was schizophrenic, but the doctors seem to think that the psychosis was brought on by the use of marijuana. For the record, I no longer smoke weed, and at times during the past 5 years, I stopped smoking weed as well, and it never seemed to make the psychosis go away or get better. So, stopping the marijuana use was not enough to make the hallucinations go away. I really needed antipsychotics, and it took me a long time to get help. And there are several reasons for that. The reason I've given before is because I didn't have a family doctor until last year, and I went to the hospital several times, and finally I was able to see a psychiatrist who would give me medication, but all he would give me was anti-anxiety medication, and then I had to go to my doctor and get an actual referral to another psychiatrist who finally gave me diagnoses and proper antipsychotics and medication. And so it took a long time. But the fact is that even if I didn't have a family doctor, I could have gone to a walk-in clinic. I could have gone to the hospital and fought harder to get help. I could have, once I got a family doctor in 2023, it took me many months to actually tell my family doctor that I was suffering with psychosis and get that final referral to a different psychiatrist. And so the reason there's two reasons why it took me so long to actually fight for the help that I needed. And the first reason is because the hallucinations kind of made me feel powerful. The fact that I thought that I was this special test subject who had a chip in his brain, who could read people's minds, who would talk to celebrities, I felt really special, and it made me feel kind of powerful. Like I had this secret superpower that the people around me didn't have. And, even though the voices in my head were abusive towards me, I still felt good enough of the time that I was willing to put up with it, because I would have these telepathic conversations with celebrities, and they would be awful to me, but I still wanted to talk to them because they were celebrities and because I admired them, and I felt like it was cool that I was able to talk to these celebrities even if they were shitty people and even if they abused me. I was still like really starstruck and felt really special and cool and powerful that these celebrities even knew who I was. And again, I'm aware that none of it was real, but at times it did feel really, really real. And also the fact that I was lonely. I had cut everybody out of my life because I had these paranoid thoughts and I really thought everybody around me was against me and stuff. So I cut out my family and my friends and I isolated myself, and the only people that I had were the voices in my head. The hallucinations were my only friends. And again, even though they were abusive and really awful to me most of the time, they were nice to me enough of the time that I felt like I was willing to put up with it. And I felt really lonely if there was ever a time where there weren't voices in my head, because I got so used to feeling like there were people around me all the time. Like I felt like I always had somebody in my brain that I could just go and talk to if I ever felt lonely. And so honestly, going on antipsychotics was one of the best things that ever happened to me. It is so good to not be psychotic. It is so good to not hear voices and to see things and feel things that aren't real. It is so good to be in touch with reality and to understand that all of those things that I believed were not real. It is so good to finally not be psychotic, and I wouldn't give it up for the world. That being said, sometimes I do miss the feeling of power that I used to get when I thought that I was this cool mind reader who had this like secret technology in his brain. I kind of miss the feeling of having people around me all the time and feeling like I had a lot of friends, even if those friends were awful to me. I feel lonely without the voices in my head, and I feel kind of small. Like I'm not this test subject. I'm not special. I don't have any chip in my head. I can't read minds. I can't do anything. I'm just this sad, pathetic disabled 31-year-old living in a shitty apartment building with very little money, struggling to get by, with a YouTube channel that has under 100 subscribers. Like, I just feel kind of pathetic. I miss the feeling of feeling like I was special and cool and powerful. I really do. But that being said, I wouldn't give up not being psychotic for the world, because the psychosis, it was hell most of the time. As much as I can look at it with rose-colored glasses now, I do remember that it was absolute hell, and I would not give up my sanity for the world. I'm very, very, very thankful that I found antipsychotics that were able to make the hallucinations go away, because they were terrifying. They really, really were. Anyways, that's all. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Stay frosty. Bye.